Maggie's snare deteriorates. Jude's important day. Clyde's implicating data. Days of Our Lives spoilers for Thursday, Walk 14, uncover that Harris Michaels will get a charming reminder when he wakes up and finds Ava Vitali playing medical caretaker. Ava proposed to deal with Harris since he's actually recuperating, so he returned home to proceed with his recuperation in her bed. There'll be some affectionate minutes on Thursday's DOL episode as Ava and Harris value this time together. Done with John Dark and Marlena Evans, day spoilers say they'll visit the bar and get together with Eric Brady to examine Jude Brady's important day. Jude's dedicating is coming up, so Eric will go over every one of the plans with Marlena and John. That ought to bring the news that Nicole DiMera, Ariane Zucker, has proposed to have the gathering, so Marlena and John might consider how Sloane Peterson Brady truly feels about that. Eventually, day spoilers say John will reconvene with Ava and Steve Johnson, so they'll consider Clyde Weston's departure and their interests about it. Clyde is a hazard to society and could undoubtedly send off one more difficult situation, so it's unsafe for him to be on the run. Simultaneously, Ava, John and Steve will stress over Clyde blaming them for assisting him with getting away assuming he gets found out. Different day spoilers say Maggie Kyriakis will sink further into the snare Konstantin Meliunis is setting for her. This cheat will pull Maggie much nearer, so we'll welcome you forecasts on exactly how far Konstantin will go to get his hands on her Kyriakis cash. Days of Our Lives spoilers say Maggie will find herself progressively stricken with Konstantin, so he ought to feel like he's tricking her on something else entirely. The more Konstantin turns on the appeal, the harder Maggie will fall. Konstantin will do his best to plot as he would prefer into Maggie's legacy, so stay with us for any marriage refreshes that may be approaching not too far off. Free and clear, significant choice, horrible second thoughts. Days of Our Lives spoilers for Wednesday, Walk 13, 2024. Uncover a few intriguing exciting bends in the road with regards to the place that is known for Salem. One person is at last free and clear where their well-being is worried, several has an enormous choice to make, and somebody has horrendous second thoughts. What's on tap for Wednesday's show? Time to find out. Day spoilers for Wednesday, Walk 13 show that Paulina Cost and her family will get some great news. Looks like she will have turned a corner where her heart well-being is concerned. Lexi Carver, as of late, paid Paulina and Abe Carver a sublime visit. She assisted Abe with leaping over his amnesia, yet it seems as though she likewise supernaturally restored Paulina, as well. Paulina and Abe have experienced such a lot of this current year, and it seems as though they can at long last push ahead with their cheerfully ever later. Discussing, Johnny DiMera and Chanel DiMera got hitched on Valentine's Day, however still can't seem to go on a wedding trip. Due to Paulina's health. During Wednesday's show, Sarah Horton will propose they head to the Horton Lodge. With both Stephen DiMera and Clyde Weston running free, will this be something to be thankful for or a catastrophe waiting to happen? Alani goes with a significant choice. DOL spoilers for Wednesday, Walk 13 clue that Eli Award and Lonnie Award will go with a major choice that concerns their future. Since Lonnie has been set free from jail, they were wavering on whether to get back to Salem or on the other hand in the event that Eli ought to acknowledge an open position in Washington. Looks like Alani and the twins will go away from town in the future, however, it was ideal to see the super couple again for a little while. Steve Johnson has second thoughts. Across town, day spoilers for Wednesday's show propose that Steve Johnson will have laments about assisting Clyde with getting away. In numerous ways, Ava Vitali spurred him and John Dark. Nonetheless, by the day's end, he assumed a part in aiding the con to opportunity, so will this culpability he feels destroy him? Finally, fortunately Trip Johnson and Wendy Shin, Victoria Beauty, were saved. In any case, while secured in the brew tank, thinking they planned to pass on, Popular said marriage commitments to one another. During Wednesday's show, Wendy will address Trip on whether he intended what he said. Paulina's wonder, vacation hideout, Trip and Wendy's arrangements, Steve's disappointment. Days of Our Lives spoilers for Wednesday, Walk 13 show that Paulina Cost is perfectly healthy thanks to some help from above. Johnny DiMera and Chanel Dupree's wedding trip awfulness. What would be the best next step? Steve Johnson laments getting screwed up with Clyde Weston. Days of Our Lives spoilers uncover that Paulina got one however 2 marvels when her heavenly messenger stayed with her in the medical clinic. Paulina thought she was prepared to pass on and go to the opposite side. Nonetheless, Paulina Great began to inhale all alone and didn't require the heart relocate, all things considered. Days of Our Life spoilers. DOOL spoilers update Wednesday, Walk 13, Paulina's Wonder, Special Night Hideout, Trip and Wendy's Arrangements, Steve's Disappointment. By Sandra McIntyre, last refreshed Blemish 12, 2024. Share. DOOL spoilers update Wednesday, Walk 13, Paulina's Wonder, Vacation Hideout, Trip and Wendy's Arrangements, Steve's Disappointment. Days of Our Life spoilers for Wednesday, Walk 13 show that Paulina Cost is perfectly healthy thanks to some help from above. Johnny Demera and Chanel Dupree's wedding trip awfulness. What would be the best next step? Steve Johnson laments getting screwed up with Clyde Weston, James Reed. Paulina Cost got a wonder. Days of Our Life spoilers uncover that Paulina got one, however 2 wonders when her heavenly messenger stayed with her in the clinic. Paulina thought she was prepared to kick the bucket and go to the opposite side. Nonetheless, Paulina Great began to inhale all alone and didn't require the heart relocate, all things considered. Days of Our Life spoilers, Steve is concerned reality will become unavoidable about John's pawn past. View story. Paulina's recuperation will rouse her girls to continue ahead with their arrangements. Chanel and Johnny will take up Sarah Horton on her proposal of the Horton Lodge for their vacation. Tragically, there is a great deal happening in Salem at the present time. Might Johnny and Chanel at some point run into Clyde Weston, too? Wendy Shen and Trip Johnson are protected. Wendy and Trip are out of the brewery and protected in the medical clinic. Notwithstanding, presently Wendy needs to know where they go from here. Wendy and Trip had their own confidential function and were wedded in the bottling works. They arranged out their lives even down to the quantity of kids they needed. Will Trip and Wendy make things official and have the existence they arranged while they were caught? Does Trip actually need the wedding they examined? Are Trip and Wendy prepared for the following stage in their relationship, or was that the apprehension about kicking the bucket talking when they were making arrangements? Will Trip propose since he and Wendy have made do? Subsequent to learning of Paulina's clinical marvel, Eli and Lonnie make a declaration. In addition, Wendy questions Trip's proposition. In his room, Steve checks out at online articles about Wendy and Trip's salvage and Clyde on the run. He throws the tablet on the bed as Kayla gets back to him. She transfers that Trip and Wendy are resting easily, and it's 100% because of him. He imparts the credit to her. In Wendy's clinic room, Trip says he realizes his mom regrets what occurred, however with her, history has an approach to rehashing the same thing. He was unable to live with himself in the event that something like this consistently reoccurred. Wendy guarantees him he doesn't need to deal with her, yet acknowledges him for keeping them rational in the tank. She says their last couple of seconds in there are somewhat foggy, as though she envisioned the entire thing. He makes sense of the mind produces its own tactile data sources when it runs out of oxygen. Is it true or not that you are letting me know I did envision some of it?